I like it, but... Oh wait, I haven't mentioned a whole bunch of other stuff. Hey everybody, welcome to a vinyl review by me, Franco of FANDAT. Franco and Nick do a thing. And the thing that we're doing today is a vinyl review. Which vinyl are we doing? Drones. Now, this is Muse's 7th album. Kind of hard to think that they have 7 albums already. It's just sort of like, wow. 7? Huh. Now, as you can see straight away from the cover, it's not the best. Muse has had a history of some pretty cool album art, although the last 2 albums, theirs were kind of disappointing. And this trend kind of continues that because... my biggest issue is it doesn't really obey the rule of thirds. Of course, the rule of thirds is that you have imaginary lines going across and as a framing device. Here, I guess you could kind of justify that stuff's happening in parts, but it's still... Now this is the special edition that you could get from Muse's website. I wasn't just going to get some standard stuff. No. See, because what Muse has done, for the last few albums, they've done a pretty nice premium box set deal. However, unfortunately this time, instead of doing a box set, they've gone for this quite clumsy triple fold vinyl. Now, as we can see on the inside, as it's a special edition, we also have the CD and DVD. And as we can see, much like the front cover, the scheme they've gone on the art here is quite drab. I like colours. It isn't really colourful. I mean, it totally fits in with the theme of the album. I also will point out that the CD and DVD have been printed to match like this. The CD version does have a different... One real nice thing about this packaging that really shows, you know, what you're paying your money for, because this wasn't cheap, is when you take this out, you will notice that on the inside, the art continues from on the outside. So, see it there? Right there as well. Nice little detail there. Or as I like to say, details. Now, as this was the special edition, the last 2 releases that they had, they gave you some exclusive prints. They've done that with this one as well. Here is Mercy, the Handler. Now, of course, these were chosen at random, so which ones you got completely, you know, you would have no say in it, you just kind of got what you were given. We've got song lyrics underneath, which is always nice, because it's nice to know what the actual people are saying, and so you don't have to argue on the internet about what the lyrics were. Now, I really like the artwork that they've done here. I think that's a cool little thing, but so far, you may have noticed most of these pictures are really quite drab, really sort of depressing and whatnot. But this is where it all gets better, because look at that sexy red. This is only the 2nd ever Muse album to be ever pressed on something that wasn't black vinyl. Showbiz, the first album, was pressed on a clear vinyl. I have a lot of coloured vinyl, so it's nice that now Muse can join the ranks of having a coloured vinyl. It's all kind of arbitrary, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't matter how cool this is packaged. How's it sound? See, when I first listened to it, I thought it was easily their weakest album ever. But listening to it again, it's just like, this is going to have a lot of fun songs, which are going to be a lot of fun to hear live in concert. I really quite like the song Reapers. Part of the reason why I really like it is the last minute and a half is just sort of like a jam that you would see if you saw Muse live. I think it's really cool how they're incorporating something from the live show into their album, because that's something they've never really done before, but it's been a staple of their live shows for pretty much their whole career. Like on the last side, we have The Globalist and Drones. The Globalist, it's a big, long song. It's one thing I really like about Muse is they always try these ambitious songs, these ambitious, long, crazy, out-of-the-ordinary songs. And usually I quite like them, but with The Globalist, it's just, it doesn't hit all the right notes for me. It's just sort of, I see what they were trying to do, I appreciate the effort, just don't like it as much as their other things. I really don't like Psycho, though. It's really just... lyrically, it's just so lame, and I don't like how they put swear words in it, because traditionally, until the last album, Muse was a band who didn't swear, and now all of a sudden they're busting F words here and there, which is just kind of like, hey guys. There's children here, guys. Come, tone it down a bit. I really don't like the interludes on here. There's 2 interludes. One of them's called Drill Sergeant, which is a guy, well, an army guy, yelling at a guy, and then that continues on into Psycho, so didn't care for it. Didn't care for it. And the other one is JFK saying stuff. So yes, would I recommend Drones to you? I like it, but actually one thing that I've only just noticed literally just then is the back cover actually has the rest of the arm. So we've been looking at it wrong the whole time, guys. It's supposed to look like this. Not this, but this. My biggest issue with this album, rather than being songs, is the theme. I like the songs, they stand alone quite nicely, but when you put them all together, it just creates this story that just really comes off too preachy, and it's really being shoved down your throat. And yeah, I think that's the biggest letdown about this. I mean, I think these songs are pretty good for the most part. I reckon some of them will be real good live staples. I'm still undecided about where I feel about this album fits in terms of how I like things. Because I get the impression that a lot of Muse fans just want to have Origin of Symmetry Part 2. They're not that band anymore. They want to try different things. They want to try exciting things. They've toned it down a bit on this, given what the last 2 albums have done. So this is more to the roots of a rock. But I still think if you're really hung up on that album, you're probably not going to like this. And as compared to other albums, this one has a set theme. The Second Law was just a bunch of random songs put together, which is not always a bad thing. I remember that was, when I was in high school, one of my favourite albums was The Works by The Queen. And what I really liked about that is you had 9 songs and each and every song was so different they didn't feel like they belonged on the same album together. It kind of gave the impression of it being more of a greatest hits than an actual standalone album. And I really liked that. That's something they did on The Second Law. This though, given the theme and everything, this is a album package. This isn't one with just a bunch of hit songs that you're going to play here and there. This is an album with a coherent theme. And the theme is my biggest issue with the album. So basically this is a concept album, and a lot of the concepts and themes are to do with, well, drones. I mean, they say drones in quite a lot of songs as well, like, they name drop it quite a bit. Would I recommend this album? See, I'm at the stage now where it's just like so many old Muse fans have lost faith in them. I really wouldn't recommend this to an old Muse fan. I would recommend it to somebody who likes rock-esque music and likes something that's a little bit adventurous than your normal run-of-the-mill stuff. So I'd recommend it to them, but definitely not to an old Muse fan, because this isn't the revival, which they made it sound like it was going to be. They're continuing their own direction. This one's just a lot less electronic this time around.